Now you're not talking about the emperor. You're talking as the emperor. You know?
Yeah.
Now you're getting into the card as an experience, not an idea.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Tarot Podcast. I am delighted to be here with Ruth Ann and Wald Amberstone, who are co-founders of the Tarot School and who I have had the pleasure of watching teach over many different occasions and over the years in many different settings, virtual, in person, at conferences, in small classes. And one of the things that they do so well is to create an experience of tarot for everyone in the room. Something that I think I haven't really seen so much elsewhere, where you will kind of have us connect with our inner eye or our own imagination and to find or work our way into a tarot image ourselves and become one with the experience of that. So can you tell me a little bit about where this comes from, where this technique comes from, what you hope people get from it?
And interesting, when we first started the school, we thought we know tarot, we can teach it. And then we find, as we're going along, we find out how much more there is to know, and
Yeah.
we're still learning.
Yeah.
We're still learning, and I think the types of exercises that we've done, some of them come out of the work with the cards, and some of them are disciplines on their own. So let's take journey work, for instance.
Right.
People do journey work in lots of different contexts. It's not a tarot specific thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But we have adapted it to work with tarot.
And by journey work, we're talking about the technique that comes to us from core shamanism.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. Where we take an inner journey to a place to learn something.
Right. You could go to an upper world or a lower world for different purposes, to find a teacher or a spirit guide of some kind. And the cards are portals
mm-hmm.
to get to those places. Sometimes the card itself will be the sort of destination where you would find the teacher, where you would get the message. Sometimes the card is the doorway through which you enter this other space.
So if I said to you, close your eyes, can you see what is right in front of you with your eyes closed? Now, there you are. You're in an internal world now. Close your eyes, keep them closed. Now imagine, not even imagine, just we're going to do this. I want you to see what's on the other side of the first obstacle to your vision, like a wall. If your eyes were open, you could only see as far as that obstacle. But with your eyes closed, you can see what's on the other side. And you're not imagining it, you're seeing it. And from there, you can go into and out of places that you never imagined. Now take this. You've gone inside the second place. While you're sitting there, I want you to see a tarot deck in front of you.
Okay.
And out of that deck, I want you to pick one card that it will please you to experience. See it. See every detail. Listen to it. Allow yourself to enter the world in which that object exists. Become a creature who lives in the world of a glass or a hairbrush or any other thing you might have found there. Enter it. See it and enter it. Feel the energy of that place. Be there. When you're there, if you choose to, you can speak to it. You can talk to that hairbrush. You can talk to whatever you see. You are able to enter the living experience of whatever you see. You can talk to anything in this world that you are able to see and understand. You can talk to a horse, a glass full of water, a child's foot, a shoe. You can enter the world that it occupies. See it, hear it, talk to it, and remember it. And you just entered a world that exists as clearly and as truly as you do. And you can, if you wish, learn to speak to anything in the world, animate or inanimate, as we usually think of those things. You can have a conversation with a lead pipe, with a shoelace, with a turd in the middle of the street.
I had a conversation with a candlestick and a frog.
Good, good. The interesting thing about that is that is not a piece of fantasy.
Yeah.
You just entered a universe that was waiting for you all this time, and all you needed to do is give yourself access to it, and then you could introduce it into your world and expand your own world by that many steps. It is actually possible to have an experience of every single thing in this universe as a direct, living reality. Not as an idea, not as a creative impulse, not as a challenge or anything. Just talking to something. You can sit down in your living room, or when you're in a doctor's office, you can sit in the waiting room and find someone to talk to. And it has its own life, its own reasons for being, its own direction that it's following, its own life that is every bit as important and as big as yours. And you learn to be humble. On the other hand, you are now free to experience the reality of the life of every single thing you see. And you can do it while you're sitting in your chair.
Yeah.
You don't have to get on a bus or a plane. And so you can do it with a card. You can close your eyes and you can see any card of your choice depicted in any way that particular deck has to work with. And you can have a complete experience of the world that it encompasses. You can see the Nine of Cups.
Mm-hmm.
You can see the Empress.
Yeah. Yeah, you can.
And
I mean, what occurs to me, it's funny because the question I was going to ask when I first thought about this particular conversation was about what is going on in the conscious and the unconscious mind when we do this. But the experience of it reminded me much more of something that Lon Milo Duquette said, which was, there ain't no outside.
well, you know what?
All there. Okay, so you took us through an example of the kind of exercise that you guys do for people, and it's a powerful experience whenever you do it and under whatever circumstances. It doesn't matter. It will take you on a journey. But what if you are the kind of person who has weak visualization skills? What happens if you close your eyes and you see nothing? What do you say to someone like that?
Sometimes if we're going to be doing a visualization exercise, we'll ask, does anybody have trouble visualizing? And usually a couple of people say, no. Because if you say the words visualize an apple, then you struggle. If you say remember an apple, suddenly it's there. Can you remember eating an apple?
Yeah.
What was that like?
Yeah.
You know? And so that leads me into the other thing is that one of the internal exercises that we do is the five senses reading. You don't just, sight is only one way to interact with the cards.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're not seeing anything, what do you hear? What do you feel? Do you smell anything or taste anything? Have you ever thought about tasting the cards? You know, the hearing,
Mm-hmm.
there are definitely cards that you can hear, Judgment with the bugle,
Mm-hmm.
cards that have birds or a lion, or, you know, the Ace of Cups with its little bells. If you're aware that you're going to listen for the wind in the swords cards, you get a whole experience that way, which is different than just looking.
Mm. Mm.
There's a difference between looking and listening.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. And any one of the senses might be the one that comes alive for you.
Right.
And the interesting thing is that the Yanver, like every card in the deck, is a living energy inside yourself. It's not an object.
Right.
It's something different than you.
Yeah.
So if you were to say to yourself, if you were to do a meditation and say, who am I when I am being the emperor? Let the emperor in you, the emperor as you, come out to play. Look inside yourself, allow the emperor in you to speak.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're not talking about the emperor, you're talking as the emperor. You know?
Yeah.
Now you're getting into the card as an experience, not an idea.
Yes. Yes. And I think, you know, as Ruth Ann was saying in our previous conversation, that is a different way of being. It's not the esoteric, it's not the intuitive exactly. It's its own thing. It's entering into the reality of the card.
It's experiential.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Not intellectual, not spiritual,
Yeah.
not ambitions, not ideas. It's the actual experience, the feeling of being that thing. And that's pure pentacles.
Interesting. Interesting. One of the wisest things I think any teacher ever said to me, and this was, I cannot remember his name, but it was a teacher who was specifically trying to help with scrying and visualization. And and his answer to the question, what if I'm bad at visualization, was, not just to get away from the term, but to say, well, okay, so you can't see anything when you close your eyes. But what if you could? What would be there?
I like that. I like that a lot. Yeah.
Because that really gets to the heart of what we're doing. And
Mm.
there have been times when I've been in that place where I was expecting to see something and not seeing something. And I just asked myself, but what if I did? What would it look like?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there was that joke. I don't know, Wald, if you remember, but there was a man in a monastery, and they were all doing silent meditations and everything, and he has this experience, and he runs to whoever is the teacher, or he said,
Mm.
I had this amazing experience. I saw the Buddha, and I had heard all these things, and it was like wonderful. And he says, relax, relax. Just go sit down again. It'll go away.
That's great. I mean, I think, the thing is that we just get in our own way all the time. It's so interesting that you said, just remember an apple. And, we have so many ways to just unlock capacities we all have. It's just we convince ourselves we don't a lot of the time. So if one is a new tarot reader, say, just finding their way into the cards and trying to figure out what their path is going to be, how they're going to learn. How would you articulate what the benefits of using the imagination are for learning tarot?
If someone is beginning tarot because they want to become a reader, doing this type of work where you experience the card or a set of cards gives you an understanding that you can't get any other way and add to your personal library, let's say, of interpretations. It's
Yes.
the best way that I can put it. It's one thing to be told, well, this card means this or is about this, or somebody else is telling you, or you're reading it in a book. But when you have your own experience, it's like, oh, well, this experience is not what I'm reading about, but it feels
Yes.
true.
But it feels true. Exactly. It's something that you know in your bones now.
Right. And so
Yeah.
then perhaps there'll be a time when you're doing a reading when that is the interpretation that is necessary. And you would not have found that any other way.
Right. I think that's absolutely right. And one thing that I think is also true is that when you hold the image of a tarot card in your mind, you may think you're holding a static image, but it will move immediately if you let it.
Yes.
It's a living energy.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not a statue.
Yeah. It's not like you have to be some kind of cinematographer or movie director telling everything what to do. It will do it on its own if
That's
you
right.
only let it.
I started doing something new recently in classes, working with this image-based tarot and really looking at the pictures. One thing we do is called close examination. What is it
Mhm.
that you actually see?
Mm.
Don't worry about what it means. What do you actually see? Okay, so that's one way of in interacting with the cards that's a little bit different. But I started making little videos of if this character in the card came to life, what would that character look like and be doing?
Mm.
And so we did some court cards recently, and I'll mention two of them because that's when I just started this recently, so I don't have a whole lot of them, but
Very
I
interesting.
really
Yeah.
like these. So the Queen of Wands, she has three different guises. One as sovereign,
Mhm.
one as muse,
Mm.
and one as witch.
Mm.
And they're
Mm.
all true of her,
Yeah.
but they all look so radically different.
Yes.
So the sovereign is the one who closest to what you see in the card, on her throne, barely moving, barely breathing,
Mhm.
but full of presence. And so the video shows that. And she blinks very slowly, and her breath rises just a little and falls. And otherwise, she's very still, but it's really powerful.
Mm.
Then you have the muse, who is very sort of flirty and inspiring, and her energy, she's one's energy
Yeah.
personified. She's just out there.
Mhm.
And then you have the witch, and that video, the cat is the one that moves. And she's more mature. And so they're all different ages. And when
Mhm.
you see people embodying the different parts of the card, it's a whole other experience. And so here we are looking at the symbols, talking about, well, the cat's about that, and the wand is this, and everything like that. And we go through some other intellectual things in a spread. And then you see this video, and it's like,
How did you make the video? Did you use,
I use Sora.
okay.
So I've got 5 seconds. They're really short.
So in your mind, you had these, archetypal sovereign muse witch, and you asked the software to generate it.
Yeah, exactly. Act them out. The king
Mm-hmm.
The middle one was my favorite. Hold on a second. So the king was the creator, the catalyst, and the torchbearer.
Oh,
So
that's great.
the king as creator, I had a man who was an architect
Mm-hmm.
and very, building. He was a king of wands. He was taking his energy and his talent to make something substantial as a king would do.
Mm-hmm.
So this architect he did a model of this building, and he sort of
Wonderful.
model.
Yeah.
The catalyst was actually my favorite one, a motivational speaker.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
And that's very catalytic, extraordinarily energizing, all dressed in red with red spotlights and this big crowd. And he's like, he's inspiring them. Very different look at the King of Wands. And then the torchbearer was a wizard
Mm.
who was teaching his young apprentice
Oh, that's terrific.
about magic with his magic wand, his stick.
Yeah.
And so it's another way of learning and experiencing the cards.
Which tells you so much in a very compact experience.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that one of the things that your experiential approach to tarot gives us is a way to enter into a mind that is freer of judgment.
Just out of curiosity, does this conversation that we're having produce any noticeable effect on you?
What kind of effect?
I don't know. Are you more thoughtful? Are you curious? Are you
Certainly.
Are you
Mm-hmm.
resistant? Have you found things that we have said that you can't quite agree with? Or does anything make you feel
all of the above? All of the above.
right?
Yeah.
But the trick is to know that that's happening. So, and you've given us the opportunity to really come out with a whole bunch of strange stuff.
That is the idea.
And I, for
that
one,
is the idea.
taken advantage of it.
Well, thank you both so much for taking the time to bandy about all manner of strange ideas in our conversation. It's been an absolute delight. And I thank you for the years that you have been willing to share with me and so many other students of the tarot and to lead us down paths we never imagined. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting us.
And we are so happy to be talking with you. It's such a pleasure.